Saturday night is a long time ago. I like
Exactly.
if you ask me what happened, what specific details happened on. I mean, generally, it turns out to only be the specific major details. Also, we started, so we're live.
Okay. Hello,
Because
everybody.
no, it was going for like a minute.
Oh, I should pull a crusty. Hey, kids.
Hey, it's episode 20. Stuff's kind of crazy. It's just me and,
Crazy.
for the first time on the podcast since, well, the awards, Imperial Bishop.
Hey, everybody. I haven't been here since January, so
Yeah.
I had to spend an hour trying to find my account.
So there's no news this week. So let's get right into the block.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball
Yes,
Z
go in.
Kai, episode 82, The Strongest Super Saiyan, Trunks' Power Unleashed.
Trunks. I
So,
thought wasn't Broly in this episode?
yeah.
Yeah.
So is this the most Dragon Ball Z episode of Dragon Ball Z ever?
It pretty much is really like it's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after Vegeta got annihilated due to his own pride, Trunks tries to step in, gets swolled, and
He basically just turns into Broly.
basically turns into Broly, which honestly I was kind of disappointed when I first saw this episode like years back. I was like, oh, he just got bigger, okay. Like,
But then the obvious problem arises.
Yeah.
And then, he can't do shit. And then Cell is just like,
He's
let's have
slow.
a tournament.
No. Yeah, I could kill all of you right here and now, but we need to delay the plot. So let's have a tournament.
Like, literally just straight up, let's have a tournament for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally no reason.
I mean, I kind of like that smug aspect about Cell, but it's there's no reason for you to have a tournament.
The problem is that we already saw that with Frieza, and now it's just like less shrill Frieza.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Toriyama, like when it comes to villains, like the only way he can have them not kill everyone off when they're much stronger than them is just that they're prideful. They're just extremely prideful. And they need to show off.
Pride.
They need to show off the
seven deadly sin of Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly. I wonder who
literally everything is pride.
I wonder who Gluttony is. Goku? Maybe.
It's Yamcha, really glutton for punishment.
No, Yamcha is Sloth, maybe? Or Envy, yeah. He's Envy because Vegeta stole his girl. Mr. Steal your girl.
Okay, now this is a conversation we have to have. The 7 deadly sins of Dragon Ball Z Kai. So Vegeta is definitely pride.
Mm-hmm. He's pride.
And
he's pride. Like if you spell Vegeta, it's just pride. It's just pride.
And he's also wrath.
Yeah, I would say he is. Although maybe Boo would be wrath. As the spoilers, I mean, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Yeah, I would say
even
Boo
the people
wrath.
who don't. Even people who haven't watched Dragon Ball Z Kai and are kind of like, I don't want any unnecessary spoilers. They don't care about Boo. They know not to care about Boo.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Blue is definitely gluttony.
Oh
wait, no.
You got the whole candy thing going on.
Or then Cell is literally just, I'm eating everyone. Fuck.
This is tougher than it looks.
So
I don't know who Lust is. You have to figure out who Lust.
Krillin.
Yes. And he's talking. Was it last episode where Krillin was saying, "Oh, you got yourself into into this trouble, Vegeta"? I'm like, what did you do?
And then his head slowly morphs into a pot.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, pot, kettle. You had one job, Krillin, and you blew it. You blew it.
Yep.
You were thinking with the wrong head. You're supposed to think of the head on your shoulders, not the one in your pants. Come on, Krillin.
And so is Goku greed? Because he wants to have the big fight and also save the planet. He wants to have it both ways.
What's the sin equivalent of selfish? Like someone who's very selfish.
I don't know. That might be greed. That might be
Yeah,
greed.
it's probably greed. Yeah. So greed, pride, lust, wrath,
Wrath. Jeez.
envy would be Frieza, because I guess Frieza in the second half, like right after Goku goes like Super Saiyan first time, he was kind of envious of that power. Like, I am Lord Frieza. I am the strongest in the universe, you ape.
Well, now you're kind of staticky, so.
Oh, am I? How does that sound?
Still static.
Let me see. Using this microphone here should be.
Unfortunately, I can't confirm that it's not my headphones because there's no one else here.
How do I sound now?
You sound farther away, but no static.
Okay, I might have to use this one. I switched from the snowball.
Well, you're still perfectly legible. So
Yeah, if you can hear me, you know that's good. I had to make it turn the audio up. I don't know how this works. How does this work?
I think you're fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Do you want to go over the rest of the sins, or you just want to?
maybe Piccolo is envy.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of characters that fit envy because they're all trying to get better than the other one, and they're trying to get stronger as well. So, like Vegeta's entire character arc is pretty much envy after Goku, after he goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I mean Vegeta is literally just all of them.
He really is all of them. I don't know about lust, but it's something. Lust for power.
Lust for power. Yeah. Lust
Lust
for
to be the prince of all Saiyans once again.
Lust for being the best.
You're the best.
Maybe Gohan is sloth.
Oh yeah, after the Cell saga, yeah, he's sloth.
Yeah.
I don't blame him too because after all that,
He's just like, no, I'm done.
yeah,
Fuck all
I'm
this
done,
shit.
Dad. Dad, you back, so just take care of everything.
Anyway, this is a super, like we said, this is the most Dragon Ball Z has ever been.
Yeah, you had like powering up for maybe it was like 3 minutes of powering up, I guess. If it was the regular Z cut, it would have been at least 2 episodes, 5 episodes at the max.
Absolutely, and all of it was constipated screaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, oh, man, oh. So it sounds like you just cut the biggest one right there.
I haven't pooped in years.
That's one thing about Dragon Ball Z that I think hasn't aged well. The power ups, just screaming, just screaming, to build up energy is not necessary. It's not.
I mean, I can't imagine like kind of that similar power ups without screaming, but come on.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a kid and you watch it for the first time, like, oh, this is pretty cool. He's getting so strong. Look, the ground's crumbling. But when you're an adult and you watch him, you're just like, this is silly.
Dragon Ball
sounds
Z.
like he's taking a dump. Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. When you look back on it, it's pretty silly.
Yeah. And that's
but I'm kind
moments,
of.
It's
I'm over basically the fights in Dragon Ball Z because it's all the same.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Nobody even has like a specific style or attack to mix things up because it's all just.
See, that's one of the things I respected about like the Frieza saga. At least some characters, even though it was still energy balls, they were still doing creative things with their powers. Like, I mean, Rito, he could stop time just by holding his breath, and
The worst time stop ever.
The worst time stop ever. Like discount Dio.
Discount. I mean, I like how that's just an open spoiler now.
Yeah.
Everyone knows about that.
It's like 20 years old. Come on, guys.
It's so mimetic at this point, though.
Wait, did I say he stops time? I meant he stops rhymes. He's not a fan of rap music. That's what I meant to say.
Yep. Uh,
And you had
so
who was it who can change bodies again? I keep forgetting his name. Ginyu.
that
Ginyu.
was Ginyu.
Yeah, Ginyu. You change bodies. That was the most creative Toriyama got with
So
powers.
like, Birder was super fast,
Mm-hmm.
and Raccoon was just a pro wrestler, so who cares?
And Jace was just Australian, so
And Jace was from Space Australia.
Space Australia.
It's like Australia in space.
So he's extra cocky, mate.
I'm starting to become over Dragon Ball Z, honestly.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm over it, but it's not. It hasn't really. Most of it hasn't aged well.
No,
In my opinion, it hasn't aged well.
it's kind of like, well, here it is. We're probably better off
Yeah,
for having it, but
yeah. It kind of. If it wasn't for nostalgia, I would see a lot of people harping on this show a lot.
like some
But
people actively like, well, it's clearly better than One Piece because, like, no, it. I know One Piece is kind of like a successor, but it's still better in every conceivable fashion.
well, they're kind of apple and oranges, but you're kind of right. You're right, kind of for the most part. It's like I would say One Piece is pretty much an improved version of Dragon Ball. I mean the Dragon Ball portion, not Z, because Z just gave up any sense of adventure and just turned into explosions. But I still appreciate, the foundation Dragon Ball left on
So I
Shonen.
guess One Piece is kind of
Yeah.
like, what if Dragon Ball kind of stayed as Dragon Ball the whole time?
Hey, you know that character Yamcha? What if we actually developed him and gave him fights? Krillin? What if he was still relatable and he actually did stuff? So basically, you have Usopp and Sanji for the most part.
What if we didn't
Yes.
What if we didn't structure our series in a complete Ouroboros-like way, where the power levels have to just constantly expand, even though the fights are just kind of the same?
Yeah. Oh, Bleach totally took that to another level, but we're gonna get into spoiler territory. So I don't know if you want to move on to One Punch Man.
I'm actually bittersweet about the ending of about Bleach being gone because it's kind of like an end of an era.
I'm
Like the
kind of
days when you would.
bittersweet. I'm I'm bittersweet over it because it should have ended after Aizen. There's no reason why it shouldn't have ended. That in my mind that was like the best ending you could have had.
Well, like I think Dragon Ball Z would be looked at even better, if it had ended after Frieza,
Hmm. I
because it's
agree.
like, there you go. That was the everything the
And
series was ever leading up to.
and even the ending to the Cell Saga. I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers already because the way it ends is more like Toriyama's passing the torch on. He's saying, okay, no, that's it for Goku's era, and that's all Dragon Ball. But nope, we had the Buu Saga because
I mean, really, the Buu saga is where it's like, no, this is not rescuable.
yeah, this is not what Toriyama had in mind. But
We've moved into complete. You just have to make more because it's popular.
hey, you should have
Kind of
just
like
done
in
what they're doing right now with Naruto. The whole Boruto stuff.
Well, Naruto's just kind of a mess in general.
Uh, that
But no, because it's kind of the end of an era where you get every Thursday or Wednesday, you'd get home from school or work and log on, and it's like, time to read the big three.
yeah, I guess I can understand that way to end of an era. But there are new shonen manga that are currently being translated or scanlated. Yeah,
I mean, I kind of
and
feel like Hero Academia is kind of up there now, is getting there, but I don't
I
know
would
what the third one would be.
I would say it's getting there, but the landscape for manga and anime is completely different now than it was 5-6 years ago because you can easily access My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, Haikyuu, all these Shonen Jump or Seinen like anime adaptation. You can easily access them. There's so much competition for your attention. While back then, when anime was more prominent on television, you could see it more often, like the more popular shows more often on television. But unfortunately, that time has passed. So yeah,
But yeah, really, it's like, man, the mid 2000s truly are gone.
yeah. I would say the closest like new anime that came close was Attack on Titan. Even
But
then,
it
that was
kind
just
of,
a rarity. Yeah,
I think it kind of it was more of a flash of the pan because it kind of squandered its potential. I think.
yeah. That's mostly
Like,
because it's a monthly series and they only did 25 episodes.
hmm
And they couldn't just jump into new material without just dragging it out. You thought the second half of Attack on Titan was stretched out. It would have been even more stretched out. They did
I
like
mean,
another.
past a certain point, I don't know what happens, but I hear. Well, I read a chapter, and of course, the stupid thing happened. But
Yeah, it
anyway,
seems like Attack on Titan. But
One Punch Man, episode 5, the Ultimate Master. One Punch.
uh, I need to
So
say this every time they cut the intro. I always cry a bit because it's sad.
I mean, it's good.
It's
I can't wait for the best opening category this year because it's going to be like a clash of titans between that and JoJo.
oh yes.
It's like, how do I decide that?
It's going to be so hard. But
But
the
of
cut,
course, you know,
I don't know.
randomly, 3 people are going to go for Battle Cry.
Yeah, they might. But
How
you
about
have
the
to.
one that's hip hop?
Yeah, how about no?
I
Even
mean,
though I love Battle Cry.
it's a good opening, but I feel like it doesn't. You know, a lot of the reason people are like, "This is one of the best anime openings ever," is because it's hip hop.
Well, the lyrics are pretty good too, but I think also the visuals help too. The
It's an
visuals,
excellent.
great
I
too.
mean, it's an excellent opening. It's just that I don't know. If you don't specifically really go for hip hop, it won't do anything
Yeah, and
for you.
also like the song's in English, unfortunately, so that
Mm.
kind of takes away a few points. But yeah, I don't know what it is with Viz and the way they edit their openings. Hunter x Hunter, One Punch Man, they just fade out at the end. It's just that's not how you edit an opening.
They just don't care.
Yeah, they just don't care. It looks very sloppy.
What doesn't look sloppy is the actual show.
Oh yes. Ooh, this is probably like top three best animated episodes in One Punch Man. This episode was phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Oh man. The scene where he just kind of makes this gigantic square of guns. Oh, so
Well,
good.
I can't tell if that was actually like half CG and half 2D animation, but it looked very clean. Clean.
It's so
It,
good. And then
it's so
Saitama just blasts away an entire like plateau with the wind pressure off
not
his
even like a
fist.
cliff. And you see the clouds are blown away too in the far distance.
Oh my god.
Now, realistically, the air pressure should have eviscerated Genos, but it didn't.
Because Saitama's just that good.
He's just that good. He says, "Let's go get some udon." And okay, I'll come along. Because
I
he,
was somewhat disappointed that what what's his name in English again? Mask guy.
let's see, a my mask or
Well, that's
handsome
not
mask, sweet
handsome yet.
mask.
I understand exactly why they can't call him like handsomely masked, sweet mask because good luck trying to fit that into lip flaps.
Well, handsome mask could work, but
Isn't that what they
I
call
don't
him?
know. Yeah, Amai I think is more like sweet or handsome, but handsome mask would have worked. I guess it's a Naruto thing where they don't like to translate that for some reason. I don't know what the deal was. Maybe it's a trademark. Maybe they trademarked it as a my mask, and oops, you should have translated that. Oh well.
Oops. Anyway, uh,
But but
another hilarious episode with fantastic animation, which is just One Punch Man in a nutshell.
and Saitama competing for the Olympics, which he would just. I'd like to see Saitama outrun Usain Bolt.
Saitama wins all of the events, including dressage.
They might have to disqualify him for a false start because he's that fast.
I like the idea that he would even win like the stupid horse events,
Yes,
like dressage, which apparently is just a horse prancing around or something.
and golf too. Apparently, he might win golf.
He would easily win golf.
He might just be like, "This is boring. I leave." He just leaves. And the part where he jumps into the air and his head gets stuck in the ceiling.
High jump!
And whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole.
And then they just get into the ridiculous whack-a-mole.
And the one guy's like, I give up. I'm going home.
And I'm just like, fuck this. And then he only barely makes the Hero Association because he completely bombed the written test.
Yeah,
the Hero
that's
Association that he founded. Some people may have missed the blink and you'll miss it, but they show a picture on a pamphlet of the founder of the Hero Association who has a gigantic butt chin.
Yes. See, he's the grandfather of the child Saitama rescued. So the entire association
from Crab Nipple Man.
Crab Lonte, or I forgot who voiced him in English, but so the entire association exists because of Saitama.
And and they have no idea who he is, and they just have no respect for him at all.
I wonder if he still had his hair, they might have recognized him, but and he pulls out the score and he thinks, oh, it's the S. He just
they even put it in a bigger font.
I don't understand. When someone takes out a score, they only take it out halfway. He just takes out halfway. Why don't you take the whole thing out before you comment?
It's just like, if that's the top of the S, that's the top of the S. That's fine. It's good.
It's good. No, it's a C.
No. You're a C-class hero loser.
C for 8
He's even below Moomin Rider. The guy who got off his bike and then just got smacked in the head.
The best hero. He's literally Kick-Ass. Like, he's the anime version of Kick-Ass.
Anyway, it's another excellent episode of One Punch Man.
It is, and it kind of sets up for things to happen soon. I'm not going to go into spoiler details, but
it becomes one of those shows where it's just like, well, I can't say anything because it was great.
Yeah,
it was just all great.
The animators did a fantastic job on this. You could tell, like, I think I heard that there was 13 or 12 animators working on the fight scene.
Sure.
Like 13 really talented animators were working on that scene. And it was all done on a regular anime size budget.
Seems impossible.
It's possible.
And it would be
if have a lot of talent.
If not for the magic of outsourcing to Korea.
You know, half of the anime we have now would not exist without outsourcing.
I know.
But it's also 12 episodes, so yeah.
Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans Episode 10, A Letter from Tomorrow. This is a really bad episode.
I think we should rename this to Michiko and Hachin Iron-Blooded Orphans because the flashbacks, I thought I was watching an episode of Michiko and Hachin.
So this is another episode I really wish Seda would have been on here to talk about because he was then like, last week he was then like, oh man, these people are having like real person conversations, which is something you don't see. And then this week it's like, wait, I take that back.
Yeah, real person conversations are good, but I think depending on the execution, they don't make interesting live watch material. I think.
I mean, it's not that they were not interesting or not. It's just that the stuff in this episode was really bad. Like, oh look, Atra, who is easily the worst character in the show because, you know, she has no reason to be there other than to...
Where's the Space Hitler? I don't know.
I mean, Space Hitler's only around for a few episodes. And then Atra's just there to kind of to be lolly bait.
I don't know that, but the whole comment at the end where she's thinking about being family with Mikazuki and she's thinking of the harem. I'm like, no, no,
Nope,
no, no,
nope,
don't go there.
nope,
Don't go there.
no, no, don't.
I know we might be taking a little bit out of context, but it seems that way. It really seems that way.
Yeah. And then, oh no, a grown woman is on the ship. Let's
Oh
have
my god.
all of the characters be really creepy.
That was cringeworthy, all right. Like, that was really cringeworthy. I don't know why the kids were saying, "Oh man, a woman, she's so good." Oh, like that's what a real adult woman looks like, and I think Ultra was right next to them while they were saying it, and I'm
It's like, I know you guys are probably extremely sexually repressed.
they shouldn't
I
be.
mean, you can imagine, right?
They're like what? They're like what? 10, 11? Like
I
when I
mean,
was 11, I wasn't
okay,
too focused on that.
whatever. Anyway, moving on. Shut the fuck up. And so this episode was really bad with the extremely obvious use of extremely obvious death flags.
Mm. I probably wasn't paying too much attention to the death flags.
Well, it's basically like, hey, I'm a character who hasn't really been in the spotlight too much yet. I'm talking to other character who hasn't been in the spotlight too much yet. And we're both talking about our family and how much we've missed them and what we're gonna do to help them. We're gonna die.
Oh yeah, the obvious death flag tropes. But I'd be surprised if they didn't die. Who knows?
And then they're immediately attacked, and then Mika just warps out of fucking nowhere.
Like dynamic hero entry.
So like he stayed behind on the big space station to get the Gundam repaired, right? But I never thought that Gundams were like a travel ship.
Yeah, it's
Like
almost
it
like
doesn't
he teleported. He just appeared at the speed of light.
and it's like apparently so much faster than everything else. Yet somehow was able to cover a massive distance in space in a very short time. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's not very consistent with what it's done before. Because we've seen it fight in battle, and it doesn't seem like it's much faster than the other mechs.
And so you can say, well, maybe they weren't very far away from the space station at all. But in that case, these space pirate guys should not be anywhere close to that place because they get wrecked.
Yeah, that's true. I do agree with that. But I will give it some leeway because that's when the ending started and the song just popped in, and I think it made the scene a little bit awesome.
Would have been the second best ending. That would be the second best ending of the year, if not for the fact that Roundabout's coming.
Oh yes. Oh man. I hope Toonami can get the rights to Roundabout so we don't get some like didn't Akami Got Kill have a original ending song?
I think that's just a Sentai doesn't give a fuck thing. Like they give less of a fuck than Viz. They don't even bother to cut
But
the ending.
they had the ending theme song to Parasite, but Akami Got Kill, it was an original original outro song. Like it was like an original just
Well, maybe
OST
they did
music.
that, and then Toonami was like, just cut the ending.
Yeah. Man, when they cut Roundabout, I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
I'm just gonna turn off the TV before the episode ends so I don't see the cut.
Oh man, it's gonna suck. But no, this is a very bad episode of Gundam.
Yeah,
It's not about the lack of action.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "Where's the action?" It's like, not every show has to have action every single episode, even on Toonami. But it's just the stuff that's not even, it's just the stuff in the episode just wasn't good. Period.
Maybe I'm being too lenient, but I don't think it was bad, but I do think it was kind of boring. I mean, I appreciate the character interaction and dialogue, but it's not doesn't really seem to do anything right now for me.
At some point, you have to realize. At some point, you kind of have to remember. Oh, that's right. Gundam shows are always 50 episodes in the end. They split the seasons, but they're always 50 episodes, and they're probably written like that from the beginning. And so it's like it's still a long show, and it's gonna have these wild swings of quality.
Well, hopefully next week's episode is better. Is next week Labor Day? No.
Next week is not Labor Day because Labor Day is in September.
There goes my mental clock messing up again.
I believe it's the first weekend of September is Labor Day weekend.
Okay, so we got one more week of Toonami before the One Punch Man marathon.
Or maybe, well, that's what Google is for. When is Labor Day?
Siri, when is Labor Day? Boop.
Monday, September 5th. Therefore, we have 2 more weeks of Toonami before Labor Day marathon.
Nice.
And I get to go on vacation.
Yes.
Over the weekend, so it's not really a vacation, but whatever.
Make it a staycation.
I'm going to the Outer Banks.
Yes. I'm going to the library.
Hunter x Hunter episode 16, Defeat and Disgrace. Holy shit! Hisoka.
A wild Hisoka appeared.
So in this episode, Hisoka has a murder boner and just stands there for hours.
You can feel his bloodlust. No, it's mostly lust.
And then he's just hunched off and running to find any random person to kill. And he just has this horrifying scream.
Like, I'm going to murder you. Well,
like this poor old...
but it's just like demonic bass just charged at. I feel sorry for that poor guy with the big nose because he didn't deserve that.
Randomly, it just... This is your crime for being in the same general area as Hisoka.
Also, one thing I want to point out, any other shonen main character would have stopped Hisoka from attacking that guy, but Gon's like, nope, he's bait.
And Gon, he didn't even, even when he was gonna looked like he was gonna attack, Kurapika and Leorio, he was still like, gotta get the badge. Like Hellwarden had, I was reading Hellwarden have this realization in the anime thread because he was like, wait, he only cares about the badge.
Exactly.
My friends might die. I gotta get the badge. This other random guy might die. Gotta get the badge. Oh man, I have the badge, but it's because Hisoka killed this other guy who took it from me. I'm really mad that he didn't let me fail.
Which is kind of funny when you take consideration the other times that Gon was kind of willing to put his friends over his on a higher priority besides being a hunter. Like he was willing to save his friends mostly any time, but now, and it looked like Hisoka was about to kill them. I'm just gonna sit here and wait and see what happens.
Like he's coming to this realization that some people describe Gon as innocent. No, or he is innocent, but he's really way too innocent.
Yeah, you'll start to see the innocence start to shed off slowly as the series
Gon is not an innocent little caterpillar. He is kind of fucked up.
He has some demons about him. we'll get to that soon. But
oh man.
So Kurapika and Leorio survived due to Kurapika being the best character and just,
I don't really know why Hisoka. I don't really know why Hisoka took that.
Yeah, he should have known something was up the moment Kurapika didn't show him what number it was.
Right. I mean, we're really at the point where most of the main characters are only alive because of the whims of a madman.
Hisoka, he only kills you if he sees you don't have potential. And he sees that Leorio and Kurapika and Gon have potential. So he wants them to mature so he can kill them when they're fully ripe.
That is not creepy at all.
Yes.
That does not have any other subtext you could apply it to either.
Exactly.
Definitely not.
And yeah, so when Gon gets the badge, he gets taken out by Fugnificent. I mean, I mean, the hunter guy, he was being hunted while he was.
He gets taken out by the one black character.
Yes, who dies quickly.
It was immediate, and we got to see the manga panel where he was just ahead.
Yeah, they toned it down pretty much, but later on in the series, they once they changed time slots, it's not as toned down as it is at the beginning because it's still marketed towards kids, and we can't show a severed head or a heart exposed, so we give Killua a bag. Where did he get that bag? Or was it his shirt? I heard someone say that it was the shirt from the guy he took the heart from. But yeah, so Hisoka killed the guy and he gave Gon the badge.
Because he's like,
yeah,
good job.
Good job. You managed to hide your presence and you took the badge from me.
You stole my badge.
And Gon doesn't want to accept it like that because he wants to get the badge on his own effort and not be saved. So
like he's literally just sitting in a tree trunk, just being like, motherfucker.
Yeah. And he gets punched because Hisoka's like, nah, kid, take the badge. And if you want to return it, you got to punch me just like that. Which is not going to happen, of course.
Naruto Shippuden, episode 123, Clash. So, this might be the first time in recent memory where Naruto Shippuden is not the worst episode of the night.
Oh my god, the same animators from the what was it? Hidan and Kakuzu fight. Yeah, the Immortal arc.
And that one episode. Yeah. That one other episode they did, which was really great.
Yes, that one episode, which I can't recall. But yeah, the animation of this episode was pretty good. It was actually phenomenal. Like when when Datara shot out those pieces of art from his hands, which for some reason may or may not look like semen, we started attacking Sasuke. That was really smooth. Like the way they moved around was very smooth, very fluid.
It's really a case of excellent animation saving what would otherwise be a very boring fight because these characters really have no reason to be fighting.
Yeah, and Datara's
motives for fighting, especially, are just like, is the author just deciding he just wants this guy to die now?
Yeah, and he's extremely bland too. Just everything is related to art, and there's not much to his character besides that. But yeah.
I did enjoy what was his name? Sasori being
Toki?
Like, man, this seems like the kind of guy who dies immediately, and then he's the first one of the group who dies.
Oh, I didn't think about that until you mentioned
the ultimate irony.
You're right.
He gets taken out by Sakura. Kind of.
70% of that was Chio. So,
yeah.
And Itachi was like the Jesus figure,
Oh my god. The Jesus stuff in Itachi with Itachi is already starting.
It didn't start before. But yeah. He died for our sins. Although he's not dead.
But no, there's really not a whole much to this episode except the pretty great animation.
And Toby pretty much being the comic relief.
Yep. Which is like, again, why are you here?
It's hit or miss with Toby. And the entire forest, rip in peace, all those trees.
Is this like the exact same like forest to clearing like segment where they fought Itachi that one time?
Yeah, that's the kind of problem I have with most Naruto fights. Each fight location is pretty much similar looking. It's either in a forest or in a clear open valley.
Or a forest right next to a clearing.
Yeah, or next to some river or in some cave, and it's okay. This is kind of boring. Like at least the Immortals arc, at least the fight was in that cool like
dead tree forest.
Yeah. But yeah, the animation. I think there's really not much to talk about this episode besides the animation. And
yep.
Just Sasuke being the sauce versus art.
The sauce.
He's the sauce to the art explosion.
Meanwhile, the people who are looking for Itachi are just like, are those explosions? Never mind.
Nah,
La-di-da-di-da.
let's just go somewhere else. And I like how
I still can't get over how Kakashi's plan was literally, look for Itachi. If you don't find him, look somewhere else until you find him.
Yes,
That's
totally
literally
how
it.
it works.
That's how it works.
That's exactly how we'll find one of the members of an elite, like, stealth organization.
Elite stealth organization that always wears incredibly conspicuous black cloaks with red clouds.
Hey, are you a party at Koski? No, I just have a unique taste in
No, I'm just a fan.
Just a fan. I'm just a poser. And I like how Datara said, Pop is dead. I'm like, whoa, okay. I mean, he's not a big fan of pop music or pop art. But yeah,
One
good
Piece.
episode, general. So yeah, let's get to One Piece.
Episode 357. The general zombies are down in a flash. Or it feels like an adventure. That second half of the title is kind of weird, but
I like how the first half of the title doesn't happen until like the last 3 minutes.
I like how the title is just like it treats the general zombies with exactly as much reverence they deserve. It's like they're dead. Fuck those things.
Yeah, Odo just realized, hey, I introduced all these general zombies, but I don't want to have all these fights happening, so I'm gonna get rid of them.
You just auras them to death. I am completely unable to machine gun that sound like the voice actors can do. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think he takes some good.
I can do no. But I start to lose the M in there.
I don't know how they're gonna do end the dub. Like hearing Lucius in English is not gonna work. So they're gonna
it's I hope when it's like really being machine gunned, they just have it remain as Muda.
Yeah, it might have to do that.
I mean, it would be really awkward. One, there are two options. Otherwise, would be one, not have him do that at all, which is like, no,
you can't.
That is an unforgivable crime. And the second option would be to just have it be useless, which is like it doesn't work.
Yeah, because one uses it's 2 syllables, but it's more of a stretch compared to Muda. So saying that rapidly back to back is going to be very hard.
You can Koyasu could machine gun Mudas out there like totally shit. That last one he does in the fight is like insane.
Muda. But go back to One Piece. This episode also had a bit of an animation bump. I want to say animation bump, but the quality was a little bit higher.
It is bizarrely focused on Usopp chuckling. And he's slowly backing away. Just fade cuts away.
I've heard of shit-eating grins, but that's the first shit-eating laugh I've seen.
Like they go even further with the joke. Even the negative ghosts are like depressed.
Yeah, Usopp is so pessimistic. It's just not. Even the negative ghosts aren't working on him. Even Prona is trying to cheer him on. The villain is cheering you on. So,
the villain's like, man, I'm gonna kill you, but dude, life is good. Please.
Yeah, life is good. I kind of think she's just trying to get him to be a little bit more positive, so her negative ghost can work.
No, that ruins the joke. She's literally just so shocked that someone is that pessimistic that she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. And Luffy and Moria are about to fight, but you can see some more quality animation here too. But
Moria has not moved in that spot in 7 or 8 episodes,
which is kind of forgivable because his character is mostly just lazy. I'm just gonna let everyone else do all the work for me.
I mean, yeah. That reminds me that Chris Guerrero got a starring role in Overlord.
Oh, he's an Overlord.
Yeah, he's the main character.
Oh, okay, I gotta listen to that.
He's the skeleton guy.
Is it a Funimation?
Funimation announced it, and Chris Guerrero is the main guy.
Nice. He's going on up in the world.
Going up.
Soon all of Team Funimation's voice cast is going to be Team 4-star regulars. But
Maybe. So
Okay,
we finally
and,
get to start dealing with Absalom, who sucks.
yeah, he's such a loser. This guy, you're telling me this guy is so nervous he can't kiss Nami. Just probably like.
I'm so done with
He's got
everything
cold
about everything about Absalom sucks.
I'm so thirsty. Like there's thirsty and there's just it's a kiss. It's so. And the funny part is Oars is shaking the entire island, so Nami's just dodging back and forth. He's like, he can't kiss her at all.
Just a complete failure of a major henchman for a major arc villain.
The scene itself is not funny, but the fact that Absalom is just failing miserably is funny because he's so bad.
Yeah.
And so Sanji arrives there.
Sanji's there.
And Nami's still unconscious, even though she should have heard all those noises, but I don't know.
Someone is gonna get kicked.
It's a strong roofie or something. Oh, shouldn't have made that joke. Too dark.
There was also Zoro. Zoro finally turns up at the.
Oh, I forgot to mention, the second best party episode, the entire Brook and Ryuma portion. The fight itself was pretty neat, but I think
they haven't fought yet.
I mean, with Brook and Ryuma, their little fight. But the best part would be Ian Sinclair's voice acting. He really nails the role as Brook.
Probably gonna get best voice actor 2 years in a row. Because the flashback of Thriller Bark isn't gonna come until next year.
Oh, yeah. So it might be a tie between him and Patrick Seitz for Dio. If they're still gonna use Patrick Seitz in that dub.
I hope. Well, I think Patrick Seitz is indeed the Dio, still Dio.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just Brook right there is completely anguished. He's missing a tooth. He's got cracks in his face, and he's gonna get his afro cut off. But then Zoro comes and saves the day.
Zoro! Oh my God, he's so cool.
Bleh.
Oh, you are so cool. Bleh. That's the best outro I think they've ever done.
No, the best outro would have to be put some damn pants on, Sanji. When Frankie joins, like, put on some pants.
Jeez. Well, that was One Piece.
Yeah, it was a very fun episode.
It was a really good night, except for Gundam.
Yeah, Gundam and
Dragon Ball Z for the most part.
Yeah, Kai was kind of on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of quality.
I mean, it was probably the second worst show of the night.
I'd have to go with that. Even though we don't talk about Parasite, it has to rerun, so
who cares?
Who cares?
I mean, it is technically in its best part right now, but whatever.
I mean, how would you rank these shows on the block tonight?
I would go Gundam, then DBZ, then Naruto, and then Hunter x Hunter. Well, maybe One Piece, then Hunter x Hunter, then One Punch Man.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. Might have to be the same. I had to put One Punch Man at the top, One Piece be second. Although I did like Hunter x Hunter a lot, though. I think Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. I think it's a toss up between either One Piece or Hunter x Hunter for the second spot. Maybe.
And then
maybe One Piece because I really like Ian Sinclair's voice acting. So Hunter x Hunter would be number 3. 4 would be Iron Blooded. Actually, no. 4 would be Naruto. 5 would be Kai, and 6 would be Iron Blood Orphans.
Yep, that sounds it.
So yeah, pretty good night, except for one show. But
we won't talk about the ratings drops. Although I'm still gonna say that's Olympics.
Yeah. Also, everyone's trying to go back to school now. So
Yeah,
it's,
but I think
don't know.
that actually usually tends to bring a increase in ratings again because summer is the doldrums.
Mhm. It's strange. I don't know why almost 200 or 150,000 people dropped out after Naruto Shippuden. I mean, mm, the episode wasn't bad too. It wasn't even a bad episode. It just dropped out after it.
It's just unfortunately you can't pay people to give a shit about One Piece.
Really, like it's sometimes more, I think sometimes more viewers would tune in, and sometimes they wouldn't. It's strange. The ratings are pretty strange when it comes to One Piece.
Whatever. We don't know shit about ratings.
Exactly. We don't even get like half of the info that DeMarco gets. Like
Right.
DeMarco says, stop caring about ratings. But still, here are the ratings.
Anyway,
Big,
that's it for this week.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to next week's episode, especially the beginning of One Punch Man episode 7.
Episode 6.
This should be episode 7.
No, this was episode 5.
Oh, I'm losing track of the time. I'm losing track of the episodes.
But goddamn, we're already halfway through.
It's weird. Yeah, it's a short show, but it kind of works to its benefit because the
Only
animation.
6 weeks until 7 weeks until fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I still can't believe we're getting JoJo's. They said it wouldn't happen, but it's happening.
Well, I mean, I always kind of thought it would eventually happen. It's just that after Hunter x Hunter, and then especially after One Punch Man, I was like, okay, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I would say it's one of the more highly requested shows. I mean, they have Kai, they have Hunter x Hunter, you have One Punch Man, and after that's JoJo. And what else is there? Fairy Tale, I guess, but
Fuck that.
yeah, we already have enough shonen, so no.
Fuck that.
There's not going to be enough room because when JoJo joins, it's only going to be.
Well, they might replace Hunter x Hunter with Fairy Tale, which is a horrifying idea that I should have never brought into the world.
No, that was a terrible idea. Go stand in the corner. No.
Okay, I'll go. I'll end the recording and go stand in the corner.
No.
I'm off to the corner. Thanks, Imperial, for being here.
Oh, that's no problem.
And
I decided to, I had some free time, so I wanted to be on the podcast because I love listening to podcasts. Recently, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. A lot. It's like the new radio.
It is the new radio, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys are talking about stuff I care about, which is anime. So.
Yay! Anyway, I'm off to the corner. Good night.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening, and have a good night.
Bye.
Adios.